come on, keep moving. Step out there. Come on, keep moving. Prisoners, halt. Right. 10. You want your eyes bandaged? Well, as you wish. Section. Gun. Target 20 meters. Take aim at your pre-selected targets. 1 round. Fire!
You? Yes, me. Do sit down. Come, you go very gently. It's been a long time. I'll get you a drink. You still prefer brandy to whiskey? Yes, it's been a very long time. A long night. I think the last time I saw you was my farewell party at Balliol. Do you remember? Do you remember that woman who cornered old Fisher and lectured him on social history, blissfully unaware that he was not only the world's leading authority on the subject, but had more or less invented it? Here, drink that. One of the reasons I got myself posted to France was to get hold of this brandy. I still have no taste for vodka. Cheers. Is the music too loud? Only I know you've always liked Bach. I'm terribly sorry about that pantomime outside. I can't imagine what makes the SS think that a mock execution. It didn't work with Dostoevsky. Why should it work with you? What do you want? From you? Nothing. No, that's not true. I could never want nothing from you. I suppose it's a measure of how far the human race has fallen. That when the Tsarist police staged their mock execution, at least nobody had to die. They were regarded as the most barbarous breed in Europe. Now, to make the point of the joke, 2 men do have to die. You can never follow Bach, can you? What do you want? To talk. No, not about the things you don't want to talk about the things we used to talk about. Finish that, I'll get you another. I won't try and make you drunk, not that anybody ever could. Do you remember that rowing blue, Ashbrook? Or was he a rugger blue? Rowing. Yes, that's right. I think he trained harder for his drinking than for his rowing. And you're all a lot of bloody pansies. If there's a single bloody pansy among you who can stay drink for drink with me, I'll pay. You and I continued drinking long after he'd passed out. I think even then we could see the vultures circling overhead.
And now you've joined them.
Do you really believe that?
Tell me something else to believe.
Let me ask you a question first.
Go on, I was expecting you to.
Who are your companions? Who hid you? What is your means of identifying one another? I'll leave that to the other people. What I wanted to ask you was this. Why are you where you are?
I could ask you the same question.
Well, I'll tell you. That French aristocrat in 1815, when they asked him, what did you do during the revolution? He said, I survived. That's what I'm trying to do. Survive.
Very noble.
No, not for myself, but because some people must survive. People like you and me.
I don't want to survive.
You will. You and I and the few who are left, we must survive. For 2 years, very remarkable years they were too, looking back on them. You and I were at Oxford together. We drank brandy and coffee and we talked endlessly. And then you went home to France and I went home to Germany. Home.
Yes.
And then with my father and my mother and my wife and my son, we went, as we always did, in an intimate little party to Italy. And by the time I had a chance to write to you, it was too late to get an answer. I did write. I remember it was a very long letter, the last Sunday in August 1939. It was the first chance I had to write.
I got the letter.
Did you? Well, you see, I just got hold of that idea that it's wrong to draw a straight line from the Greeks to the Renaissance. The real line of history must have come from Persia through southern Europe right across to Spain. I had to try and explain that to somebody.
Did you get my reply?
No, it never reached me.
Oh, well, I sent one.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of a world war. It interrupts the free exchange of ideas.
You said you'd tell me why you were here.
Technically, because I'm a divisional intelligence officer, wounded in Poland. My wife is a distant relative of von Stoltenagel, the military commander here.
I didn't mean technically.
I told you, I want to survive the war. Cigarette? You haven't given up smoking.
That's hardly a question of giving up. Your friends here don't provide...
Not friends. Associates. Turkish this end, Virginia nearest you. My God, what have they done to your hands? My son is... Did you meet my son?
Yes, just briefly.
Yes, he was 6 then. He's 10 now, and already it's too late. He's a 10-year-old Nazi. If I tried to make him think, I expect he'd denounce me. Still, if the war goes on long enough, perhaps he'll become old enough to be killed. But if he could have a son, a true son of our name, I'd give up my life. I'd be happy to die.
Your hypocrisy I could have expected. Your sentimentality makes me sick.
Yes, I suppose it must. Sentimentality is the great German vice. All the great cosmic sentimental words are German. Weltschmerz, Todeswunsch, Kunstleid.
What do you want from me?
Your friendship. Again, I don't think either of us has any friends. Not now. I know about your father and your mother.
You got that on your files, too?
I learned that from the general who had your family chateau as its headquarters. Please believe me, I'm very sorry. I think you're the only person left in the world that I can talk to properly.
I've nothing left to say.
You must have. There must be someone left to talk to.
No.
Please, you know me. I haven't changed.
We've all changed.
I can't believe that. There must still be something. I can remember you getting almost violent about the relative merits of Haydn and Mozart.
They didn't put me in here to talk to you about Haydn and Mozart.
They, as you call them, didn't want you in here at all.
So why am I here?
Because you baffled them. They put you through all the treatment they've thought up, and you still wouldn't tell them what they want to know. The ironical thing is, I doubt whether you think what they want to know is very important. I shouldn't in your place. No, you're quite right not to tell them. They must never get the idea that their way always works.
So they allowed you to try your way?
If you told me the answers to the questions Lutzig's been throwing at you, that's the one thing I could never forgive you.
What exactly have you in mind for me, then?
I want you to get out of here, to get home. Yes, it is a good brandy, isn't it?
It's better than water that the SS man spits in when he gives it to you.
Yes, they're very stupid, aren't they?
I don't understand you.
I'm just pretending, don't you see? In order to survive, which is what I want to do, I pretend that all this isn't happening. I try and live very much the same sort of life I lived at Oxford those 2 years. I have the same books, the same music. To be quite honest, I have better pictures on my wall. That's a Watteau. I should add that I only steal from them. The previous owner was a distinguished French fascist. I have everything here except conversation. Conversation is, of course, the most important thing of all.
So you sit up here in your little masturbatory way and pretend that nothing else is happening.
You're beginning to argue again. Have you thought about what is really happening? There can be 3 possible winners in this war.
No, there'll be no winners.
The Nazis could win, and the Russians could win. And then God help anybody who believes in what you and I believe in. I had one of France's leading communists in here the other day. Mind of a slave. I showed him all the books, the official Russian histories, the faked photographs with Stalin painted in and Trotsky painted out. He made no reaction at all. He just sat there where you're sitting. He didn't even realize that I could save him. Perhaps he did realize. That's a terrifying thought. Perhaps he did realize. And he'd rather die than think. The third possible winner, of course, are the Americans. I think that might be the worst fate of all. Do have some more cigarettes. Put some in your pocket.
I'm not exactly going to walk out of here then.
Not now, but you will.
When?
Soon.
How soon?
When Lutzig's finished playing his game. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yes? No, but he... That's up to you. Yes. They want you back. They're coming to collect you.
It's not like Oxford. There we could talk without interruptions.
Yes.
You knew how long we were going to be allowed?
More or less. The SS prison routine must not be disturbed.
Not at all like Balliol.
Even at Balliol, visitors had to be out of one's rooms by midnight.
Yes.
It can't always be night.
Do you really believe that?
Is there anything you want? Anything I can get you?
No.
Come in.
Our orders to collect the prisoner, sir.
We'll meet again later.
Well, what did he tell you? All sorts of interesting things?
Very little.
With respect, Colonel, I doubted very much whether your method would make him talkative.
You must learn something, Obersturmbannführer. Your means of making a man talk is to threaten him. And ultimately, your only threat is death. But death is not a threat to a man who does not first want to live.
blundering idiots! Now get out!
I'm sorry about that. It wasn't ordered. But unfortunately, some of my men used their own initiative. In the wrong way. Now, they've cut your lip. Take this.
Thank you. Is there to be any more of this?
No. No, I really am very sorry. Look. Would you like a cigarette?
Oh, man. Oh, God. I always choose to twist this arm. It was already bruised from a fall I had a few weeks ago, getting over a wall outside Limoges. Thank you. We're dodging a motorcycle patrol. Not your chaps of Wehrmacht.
You see, it does work.
What works?
The methods of interrogation used by your friend upstairs. You were first terrified by a firing squad. Then, in a state of shock, you were taken to a comfortable, civilized office, occupied by a learned man who was once your friend. Such a contrast. Such a relief. You drop your guard. He gives you cognac, plays some nice music, talks about the old days. After 2 or 3 visits, you start talking about yourself. Where you've been, where you're going. Well, it's quite clever.
I told him nothing. I told you nothing.
Oh, yes, you did. Just now, when I came in as your ministering angel, to stop them hurting you. Give you a handkerchief to wipe your mouth, gave you a cigarette. You told me that you'd recently been in Limoges, and that you'd been seen there by a Wehrmacht motorcycle patrol. Right, it's not important information. But it's information all the same, so you see, you must be careful not to fall into the trap with that man upstairs.
Well, don't you want me to give away my secrets to him?
No.
Corporal!
Oh, no. And for your own sake. And for the sake of your honor. One of us will break you down sooner or later. It's much better to be broken down by me, your enemy, than by him, your old friend from Oxford. Don't you agree?
Conduct this man to the office of Colonel von Wasserburg.
You know, you amaze me. I should have thought that you would have learned by now. Never trust anyone. Least of all, anyone who offers you cigarettes and comfort.
Come in. Wait outside, Corporal. Have they been knocking you about?
A bit.
Oh dear, I'm terribly sorry.
Now it's your turn to blame Nanny, isn't it? Soothing words, a little music to take me off my guard till I start pouring out my heart to you. And later, my closely guarded secrets.
What an extraordinary thing to say.
Oh, thank God, I almost fell for it.
I don't understand you.
It was all part of the training. I've done your role.
My role?
I've done Lutzig's too, come to that. All right, first try to terrify a prisoner. Torture him, pretend to shoot him, anything. You know. Then, if that doesn't work, introduce him to somebody who's quite different. A kind uncle, a father figure, if you like. Now, you can trust him. You can tell him all the little things you didn't tell the man in the jackboots, because you and he are on the same side. And for a moment, I almost believed you.
I have been absolutely
Training
frank
all
with
over
you.
again. All fits in. After I left you, I was taken back to my cell, and for the first time, there was a blanket. And the light wasn't left on all the time. I was allowed to sleep. I don't know how long I slept for, but it must have been for over 12 hours. Because the guards are changed 4 times a day. And when they look in through the peephole in my door, I can see an eye. Now, there's a rotor. First it's a blue eye, then it's a brown eye, then it's a greeny blue eye, and then it's one that's almost black. You see, I blocked out my cell window, so it's the only way I have of telling the time. And they try to confuse you by the time they bring the meals, too. Anyway, it was the blue eye before I slept, and it was the black one when I woke up, so it must have been at least 12 hours. Because I'd been a good boy. My old college chum was looking after me. But then, this morning, or this afternoon, whatever time it is now, 2 of Lutzig's guards come in and beat me up a little. Now, not too much, but enough to make me feel grateful for the chance of seeing my benefactor again. Because he won't beat me up, will he? No, he'll offer me brandy and cigarettes, and we can talk about the old days. Then there'll be a little scene staged, so that I almost feel sorry for him. That bit didn't work, but it might have done, mightn't it? I might have believed that he's a sort of prisoner too, and who knows, I trust him. I wouldn't tell him very much, but then I needn't, need I? Because as the French say, it's the first step that counts. Once a prisoner has started to talk, there's no logical place for him to stop. Well, but I needn't tell you all this, because that's the way you work, you and Lutzig.
Do you really believe what you're saying?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I would never do that to you.
Why?
We are friends.
All right, let's pretend that I believe you. Let's pretend that for the sake of the old days and for the sake of those evenings up at Oxford.
They were wonderful evenings.
All right, for the sake of those wonderful evenings up at Oxford, if you prefer it with the adjective. Let's pretend that you didn't try that on me. Have you ever used that technique on anybody else? Well, have you? And it worked? Yes, of course it did.
But they were different.
Nice, but you have to say that, don't you? Because you know me, you know I'm not a complete fool. You know, even your trusting old college chum wouldn't believe that someone could rise to whatever rank you hold and whatever unholy organization you belong to if he was a total failure. If every prisoner came in here and had your brandy and cigarettes and still didn't say anything.
You don't understand me at all.
No.
It's easy for you.
Terribly.
Look at the map. There are your British Isles, all surrounded with water. A nice, clear, simple concept. This is British and this isn't. And there on your island, behind the only sort of frontier you can't argue about, you know where you are. You can produce your own culture, you know where you belong.
Well, if you manage to extend the German state over the whole of Europe, a bit of their culture might rub off on you. Look, while I'm here, before I'm back on the other half of the treatment, you might at least offer me some brandy.
Of course, I'm very sorry.
I know the system's failed, but might go through the motions as we say in the army. I presume I'm still allowed a cigarette?
Please. You must try to understand.
I can always try.
I am not a German. At least not in the sense that Lutzig is. I've always thought of myself as a European first. But I can be a German and a European too.
Well, that, I gather, is exactly your Führer's idea.
Please listen to me.
Sorry.
When you were brought in here the first time, it wasn't easy. I wanted to make you understand that in some ways nothing has changed. We are the same sort of person. We are on the same side. You can draw a line across a map and send armies across it, but that doesn't change what is really important.
Except for the people who happen to be in the way of the armies.
No, the armies are irrelevant. Any German who can still think knows where we went wrong. When Germany was 360-odd little states, each with its own government, we were as German as we are now. We were more German. We had our language, and we used it to think, not to shout orders. We had our language and our music. And it was the greatest music the world has ever known. Now we have no real identity at all.
Oh, I think most of Europe has a pretty good idea of what being a German means.
No, they know what it means to be a Nazi.
Or to go along with the Nazis.
Yes.
In order to survive. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. In my cell, with its blocked-up window and its little naked electric light bulb that's on all the time, there's another way I have of telling the time. When the prisoners are shot, that's dawn. We always associate the Germans with being methodical.
You have no idea what it's like.
No.
Do you want me to disown everything? My family? Yes. Twice within my lifetime, the class to which I belong has betrayed everything that I believe in.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry for you.
Please.
Well, we all have to make sacrifices. But it isn't too bad for you, because the sacrifices you have to make are other people's lives. But in the end, you'll survive. Europe will be forever in your debt.
Other people's lives? I would sacrifice a whole German panzer division to save the life of one man whom I could respect and admire. I would sacrifice Heidelberg, a city which I love, if I could bring back the spirit of the people who built it. I would have Germany razed to the ground, rather than the world should lose the 6th Brandenburg Concerti.
Well, then it's very fortunate for Europe, let alone Germany, that you survive.
Do you really think I want to go on living, if this is all there's going to be? Dear God, how little you know me.
Prove it.
How?
You said you could arrange for me to get out of here.
I can, yes.
Then get me out.
I will. I've told you I will.
Yes, but I don't want to be shot while trying to escape.
I assure you, if they wanted to shoot you, they would have done it by now.
Yes, you have a point there. On the other hand, I don't want to escape in order to lead your friends, I beg your pardon, your associates, to anybody else so that we can all be shot.
They will follow you. They won't shoot you until you've led them to what they want.
So Lutzig has told me.
Well, you've been trained. You must lose them.
All right. How do I escape?
Oh, no, you can't escape. You must be released.
And you can arrange that?
Yes?
You just go up to Lutzig and say I'm to be released.
No. I tell Lutzig that you trust me. And you've told me where your friends are, the ones Lutzig wants. Now, Lutzig won't be able to follow you unless he has some idea of where you're going.
But I'm not going where he thinks I'm going.
No.
I see. And what happens to you?
To me?
Yes, you. If, as you say, your great wish is to survive, seems an unlikely way to go about it, misleading Lutzig.
That's a risk I have to take. I'm relying on you.
It's a little out of character, isn't it?
We are friends. I've put myself in your hands. If you choose to reveal to Lutzig what I
Unless
prefer
you've already
is...
arranged all this. Unless this is something you've done a dozen times before. You have done it before, haven't you? Let people walk out of here trusting you so they can lead you to other people. You have done it. Yes, of course you have.
Never to a friend.
My God.
Never when it's made any difference. The people I've betrayed were going to die anyway. It was simply a question of time.
All right. So there are some you've saved.
Yes.
Name them.
I'm not in a position...
Oh, tell me their names.
I can't.
And why can't you?
I promised never to tell anyone. I gave my word.
All right. How long have you been here?
Just over 18 months.
And there are 300 prisoners in the prison. So in 18 months there must have been, what, say, 2,000, 3,000 prisoners going through here? And most of us don't stay long, we're shot.
That's right.
Well, suppose we say 2,000. And suppose just 1% were lucky enough to meet my old college chum. That's 20 people. How many of them have you saved? 10? 5, even? 4?
2.
2. Well, I just hope St. Peter was watching and managed to remember to put your name on the golden scroll. Now, you better phone Lutzig. I'm ready to go back to my cell now.
No.
I'd rather deal with him than you.
You must listen to me. I'll tell you what you've got to do.
Unless you want me to walk out of here unescorted. That might look as if you'd failed. You might not even survive if that happened too often.
The next time you come here, I'll have Lutzig
won't be
here.
a next time.
The next time, Lutzig will be here, and he will offer you a free escape from this country. You will pretend to believe him. To save your life, pretend that you'll lead him where your friends are. But you'll not tell Lutzig where you're going. You'll not even tell him where you're going to pretend to go.
Why not?
It's important that I tell him that he can't do anything without my help.
I see.
But I have my own organization. You will tell me where your friends are, and I will offer you addresses where you will be safe.
Well, people who want to keep in with you.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to tell you where my friends will be?
You've got to. You have no choice. If you want to live, and if you want your friends to live, you must trust me.
allowed to cross into Spain.
We are not going to insult you by suggesting that you would betray 2 other people in order to save your own life. I know you too well for that. But I give you my word that whatever you do will make no difference to your associates.
They cannot escape.
To me, that's a tragedy, too. But it's a fact. The only person who will be affected by your decision is you. And I.
You?
People don't cease to be friends simply because little men with delusions of grandeur like playing at soldiers. I am referring, of course, to Churchill. There are some things that are more important than wars. It was E.M. Forster, wasn't it, who said, if I had to choose between betraying my country and betraying my friends, pray God I'd have the courage to betray my country.
I haven't seen the papers recently. They're not delivered to myself. How's the Russian winter going?
The Russian spring is more important than the winter. Oh, I'm tired of people being clever.
Shall I make the whole situation clear to you? You are here, and within a few hundred meters in any direction, there are walls. On the walls, there is barbed wire and an electrified fence. There are dogs. There are men who have been given strict instructions to shoot on sight anything they consider suspicious. If they make a mistake and shoot at error, they know I will take no action. If they fail to shoot, they know what will happen then, too. Your friends are here, somewhere in the Bordeaux area. They're separated. But you know that, don't you? But then how do I know it? Because I have a contact in every resistance group in the Bordeaux area. And I will know the moment they leave that area. They haven't left yet, though, have they? Why? Because either the man, for some reason, is unable to leave without the girl, or the man is unwilling to leave without the girl, because the girl is the one the British want to get out of France. I believe the latter to be true. I also assume that somehow they're in contact with one another. Why?
Well, you're doing the situation report, not me.
Because unless the man knew where the girl was and consequently had to stay in that area, he'd long ago tried to get to Spain. And then neither of them can get very far, can they? Mm-hmm. Because you are the professional.
I gather people have got away, even without me.
You still have very little idea of our methods, have you? Administration, whether it is administrating a country or a poultry farm, is simply a question of analysis and organization. Every German soldier in the middle of France is one soldier less on the Russian front, where he is of much more value. So every Frenchman doing his job efficiently without troubling us is an asset to us. If there's a baker in some piddling village who's a member of the resistance, well, he is still a village baker, and if he's arrested, we have to find another village baker, so we weigh one against the other. And we don't provoke the French, unless they provoke us first. That is why in large areas of France all we need is a middle-aged corporal who is unfit for service at the front. Because after all, who's going to risk his life killing a middle-aged German corporal? And anyway, if there's any trouble, all he's got to do is lift the phone. But for those who are really active in the resistance, then there are 3 steps we can take. First, we can infiltrate someone in among them, just to keep a check on what they're doing. Secondly, if they're really active, well, then we can deport a few. To deport is better than to execute, usually. As if you've got a father or a brother or a son who's in Germany, alive, you're not likely to do anything that will endanger him, are you? Then, of course, thirdly, if there's simply no stopping them, then we arrange that their activities are rendered as harmless or as time-consuming as possible. For example, smuggling airmen into Spain. Now, one airman who's usually far too confused to be much use anyway, even if he does get back to England, is a very, very small price to pay for the thousands upon thousands of man-hours it costs the resistance to get him out.
It's always a pleasure to watch the logic of the Obersturmbannführer's mind.
To get back to you. Let's assume for one moment that somehow or other you escape from this prison and contact your friends in Bordeaux. Then there are 3 ways that you could escape from France. By air. But for a Lysander, Bordeaux is unfortunately much too far. Then, of course, there's the sea. But quite apart from the fact that the Allies find it difficult enough to get a ship across the North Atlantic, let alone close to the coast where the U-boats are based, I would only add that the French coast is the most heavily fortified and most heavily patrolled area on Earth. Which leaves us with the tracks across the mountains into Spain. Here, 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 and here. I'm quite an authority in getting into Spain. So if you have any questions, ask me. I know all the best guides. How much they charge. Their rates, by the way, have gone up recently. Do you know, I think that by and large it is true to say that anyone who escapes into Spain does so with the tacit permission of the SS. You know, if you'd been on your own, I dare say you might have got away. You weren't on your own, were you? Then, if you had been on your own, I doubt very much whether you'd have finished up here. But you are now more than 500 kilometers from either the man or the girl. Don't you understand?
It isn't very difficult.
Between Paris and Bordeaux, there are at least 6 resistance areas, each with its own centers. I have a contact in every area, almost every center. You couldn't be even half sure that any address you knew, if you approached it, they would not immediately tell me. You haven't a cat in hell's chance of getting within 200 kilometers of your friends. If you leave here, you leave here on my terms. And my terms are these. Once we've got hold of the man and the girl, you will be put in contact with someone who will lead you over into Spain.
What makes you think that I know where the other 2, always assuming that there are 2 others, what makes you think that I know where they are?
Oh, I'm quite sure you don't.
Well, in that case, I've nothing to offer you.
Oh, really?
I'm surprised you haven't had me shot ages ago. Would leave my cell vacant for somebody else.
You know, for a man of your supposed intelligence, I should have thought that what I propose must be obvious to you. Look, I want the man and the girl. The girl I believe to be more important than the man, but I want them both.
So you've said.
Now, the most obvious way to get them is to put you in contact with one of the groups that take people over into Spain. Your friends will then be contacted, and they will come to join you at whatever place it is. Now you can cross over into Spain from one of 5 depots. Bayonne, Pau, Tarbes, Carcassonne, and Perpignan.
Really? You know much more about these things than I do.
Now, starting from Bordeaux, it would be very difficult for your friends to get right over to either Carcassonne or Perpignan. So, I imagine your arrangements will be to contact the depot either at Bayonne, or Pau, or Tarbes. So all you have to do is to contact the depot at whatever town it is, and leave the rest to me.
And what do you imagine will happen then?
Well, you're in charge of the little threesome. They will do whatever you tell them. You can arrange not to be present when they arrive at the depot. Once we've got hold of them, you will be taken into Spain.
With your assistance?
Well, I doubt very much whether you'd get there without it. Well?
I'd prefer to wait until after the next Russian offensive.
But
I agree.
Why don't you have another cognac? On me. Oh, by the way, if you think of anything, you could tell your old friend.
You did that beautifully. You'll have to get a train to Bordeaux. It'll be too soon to think of shaking off whoever's going to follow you before then. When you get to Bordeaux, just go to an address that I'll give you. I'll give you 2 addresses just to be sure. Either one will help. Just say that I sent you. What an extraordinary achievement this movement is. That any man could think so clearly. When you've got to the address in Bordeaux, and you're sure you've not been followed, just stay one night and then proceed to whichever depot you choose. By the way, Lutzig was trying to trick you.
Really?
The depot at Power doesn't exist anymore. It's now a cover for his men.
You seem to be remarkably in Lutzig's confidence.
I didn't learn that from Lutzig.
Just one thing. You're employed in Paris as an interrogator, and yet you've addresses in the Bordeaux area. So presumably you've addresses all over France. Why? Why, my little college chum? Why? I can't believe it's because you're planning summer holidays for after the war.
If there's a second front, an Allied invasion, I'll have to hide until a proper government is established.
In order to survive.
I honestly think that the best that any of us can do is to save what we can of Europe, those of us who are qualified to rebuild it. God knows I'm not proud of what I've done, but if it means anything to you, I think it's more important that you survive than that I do.
These addresses.
They're an insurance. They're the only people I can rely on to help me, and they'll help you now.
In other words, they're people who sold the resistance to you, right? And they're in your debt because you're protecting them, right? A protection you could withdraw any time you choose.
Are you going to trust me? I'm risking my life. Lutzig sent your photograph to Bordeaux, but these addresses are known only to me. They're the only chance you will have of shaking off whoever is going to follow you.
All right, what are the addresses?
There's something I'd like you to promise me first.
What?
When you get back to London, tell them there that I helped you. Tell them that the 3 of you couldn't possibly have escaped unless I helped you.
Another insurance policy. All right, I promise.
At Bordeaux, near the station, Café Lyon, Rue de la Gare. And if that's too close, Lutzig's men will be at the station. On the road to Pessac, 113 Avenue Rigaud. A draper called Mauriac. You can get a bus to it, but you mustn't stay more than 1 night, just long enough to shake off the SS.
And the other address, that's the important one.
Well, I'll have to know which depot you're going to.
Bayonne.
Bayonne. Then go to Boucan. That's 5 kilometers from Bayonne. Maurice Descamps, he owns the largest shop in town, Place de la République. You can stay there as long as you like. He's very indebted to me.
And you can get him killed by the resistance any time you choose.
Can you remember those addresses?
Yes. And what are you going to tell Lutzig?
I'll tell him you're going to Tarbes. That's an altogether different area from Bayonne. You'll need some money. They'll only give you a discharge allowance and a travel voucher. You will remember to tell them in London that I helped you.
I'll remember. Do you know something? If you hadn't produced that final, sickening little condition, I could never really have believed you.
May I?
Please.
The prisoner is ready. May I wish you luck? For old time's sake?
Forget them, I'm trying to.
Come in.
Identity card 1, work permit 1, wristwatch 1, postage stamps 3, Wallet 1 empty. Pen 1. Right? Travel permit and voucher. Discharge paper. Prisoner's discharge allowance, 50 francs. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Right? Sign here. And here. And over the page at the bottom. Here.
There he goes.
Yes.
I have a man posted at the gates, another at the station barrier, and one in every carriage of the train. So he won't get lost. Are you sure you know where he's going?
Yes.
Well, God knows why he should tell you.
We were friends. He trusted me.
Exactly. All right. Where is he going?
Taub. He's going to Taub.
Town.